Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for being here. I'm so excited this evening. We are live for the first time on LinkedIn. So if you come in through LinkedIn, please drop a hello in the comments and make yourself known. I appreciate you being here. I'm Coach Willena McGee. I help healthcare entrepreneurs start and grow their non-emergency medical transportation business in 90 days. I help you to structure that framework out. So tonight we're going to talk about what makes a premium non-emergency medical transportation business. There's a lot going on in the industry, the landscape with the changes coming to Medicaid, and we know that that's going to trickle down to providers. So let's not wait until it's too late to make those changes. If you're already in business, if you are just starting your business, let's start out on the right foot, build it right from the start. And we're going to talk about that. I want to excuse my slides, team. The PowerPoints are very well put together on our end, but when we bring it through the software, it distorts it. And I'm in the middle of classes and appointments daily, so I didn't have time to make the adjustments. So please forgive me. We'll be all right though. So again, who am I? I'm Coach Willena McGee. I'm RN BSN. I'm also known as your NEMT startup coach. And we're going to talk about what makes a premium NEMT transportation business. All right. I wanted to, hopefully we can get some more individuals to come on in. I know sometimes it takes them a little time to get up and going, but we're going to go ahead and keep going because I don't want to take too many pauses. We can always go back, right? So non-emergency medical transportation businesses, we know that a significant portion of them fail. They never get off the ground. They end up running out of money traditionally. Yes, that is the case, but that's not always why they fail. Many times I come across providers who are contacting me and they're making 10K, 12K a month with brokers. However, there's, even though they're having the revenue coming in, they're still having cash flow problems. And that's not because of money. That is because they don't know how to position themselves. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Again, come on in. While you're coming on in, y'all make yourselves known, say hello in the chat. Let me know who you are so I can say hello. All right. Again, here's the trap. There's a major trap. And this is what I see a lot of providers calling me with is the first thing you ask me for is how can I get a contract? And I've called all these brokers. Well, let's talk about it. Chasing Medicaid money right now in 2025 is like hitting your head on a brick wall. It's for no reason. You're just doing damage to yourself because behind the doors are Medicaid brokers like ATN, MTM, Access to Care, Mode of Care. These individuals are cutting costs. They're repositioning people. They're doing different things in the organization to make sure that they protect their stakeholders. Okay. So they're going to still provide services to the individuals who need it because that's their mission. However, they're already making cuts within themselves as an organization. So they're not going to be quick to just take on providers who have a one vehicle setup. They're going to ask for more now that there's been an influx and a saturation of providers. There's not as much there's not as much there's the demand is there, but you also have a lot of, I can't think of the name. Y'all go ahead and tell me, share with me, because I'm losing my train of thought on that one. I can't remember the name. The demand, the supply of providers is there. They can choose any, many, miny, mo on who they're going to give that ride to. So you're chasing Medicaid brokers, you're depending on brokers. I had one gentleman who reached out to me, very, very nice. I can't remember what area he was in, but I told him, I was like, hey, I help my providers get up to 10K per month. And he was like, well, I'm doing that now. And I'm like, but my clients are only having to do four or five clients a day. You're running on the broker method and you're doing 15 to 20 trips. Who's winning? So I see you all begging large facility for contracts. And again, I'm telling you all, I need you all to understand that this is a hamster wheel. This industry is like a hamster wheel. One gets on or one falls off and three more get on. So you have a lot of people that are coming into the industry and they're uneducated on how to operate business. They still think that getting a van and a vehicle and some insurance is all you have to do to reach success in this transportation industry, even though it is a billion-dollar industry and it is $1 million revenue stream. You can't come in it on no funds. So what you all go out and do is you market and flood these social workers and you flood the client liaison with all these emails that they can't even get their work done, begging for them to give you a contract, and their focus is not on responding to all the hundreds of emails that they get from different providers and people trying to sell them something all the time, is to find rides. So the individual who came in and caught their attention is going to get that initial contract. And so what happens is that they will keep that contract until something maybe goes wrong. So maybe they have a disagreement, there's a payment, they go up on price and the facility doesn't want to pay that. Then they will go to their excuse me. Then they will go to their email and search and start to see who all is in their email box that they might be able to bring in. So at that point, you may get a call from that social worker that says, hey, we're going to get a committee together to talk to different providers in the area. Can you bring your presentation? It happens all the time with my students. And so we create a pitch, we create a presentation, and they go and talk with the administrator, the facility administrator, and so forth. And they generally don't hear back right away. And I want you all to not feel that that's a rejection. That's the step in. That means go ahead and start marketing, follow up, but don't expect right away to get that contract. Contracts come with the capability to fulfill that contract. So we start out and we do our time. We do our time. When you get to about 9 months to a year, then you can start really looking into contracts. You just got to do your time. There's other people that were here before you. So here's the shift. Position yourself to get in front of the right people. Okay. So in business, you're not going to talk to the CEO of the facility. You're not going to talk to the administrator of the facility. You're most likely going to talk to the transportation director or to the social worker who's handling the transportation for the clients. So emailing the ADON, the DONs, and all those other people, that's not going to do you any justice unless you got a personal relationship with them. So you want to get yourself in front of the right people. But besides just going to the facilities, getting yourself in front of the right people isn't always going to the facilities. That's going to networking events. Going to networking events. If your local hospital is having a networking event, sign up, pay for a booth, go. If you know that there's going to be an event on Eventbrite that is bringing local community leaders together, go. Just network. This is how you get yourself positioned in front of the right people. Next, you want to build a service-based business, not just rides. Now, listen, I'm talking to healthcare providers. I work with anyone. Let me be clear. I will work with anyone. But this right here is for those who are in healthcare. Don't just, you have a degree. You have a degree, leverage it. If you are a nurse, an MD, or MD, an MP, an RN, an LPN, a CNA, if you have the ability to open this business, then you need to be opening in that business from a from a standpoint of services. You have plenty of services that you can offer these individuals. Don't focus on mileage. Don't focus on how many miles you can give to an individual. Focus on value, providing a service that they can remember. So here's myth number one. Premium equals higher pricing. Anybody think that you're getting the best deal just because it costs more? Anybody? Yeah, y'all go ahead and put it down in the comments. Even on the replay, y'all go ahead and put this on the comments. Do you feel like premium prices premium equals higher pricing? Well, let's talk about the truth. The truth of the matter is that premium is all about positioning. We're going to get into that a little bit more down the line, and we're going to talk about that. So stay with me. So here's your solution. Stop competing on mileage and define exactly who you serve. I'm the niche queen. I'm the niche queen. You come to me, we're going to talk about who you're servicing. We're not just going to talk about wheelchair, ambulatory, stretcher. We're going to talk about who is your exact client. We're going to get into that. Keep moving. All right, so here we go. We're going to dispel myth number one. So we have a cardiac rehab patient. That person was just discharged with an MI 48 hours ago, but now they've got to get to rehab, and they're not weak, and they're still weak, and they're not strong enough to actually drive their vehicle, and they need help at home getting up. They're still experiencing shortness of breath a little bit. They're recovering after having this MI. All right, so they may not qualify for the services of home health, companion care, because their hospital days weren't long enough. The insurance may not cover it, but they just need a little bit of support. So now, we're going to get very niche specific. So how about, as healthcare providers, we target that individual because we know that they're only going to need us for a short time. So we're going to give them reliable transport back and forth to their therapy sessions. If we have a combo group home, a home health agency, companion service, we've got that other business rocking and rolling. We're going to provide them light support at home, medication reminders, things of that nature. And then that way they have consistency with care. They are now building a trust relationship with you. That is positioning. That's positioning your business for success, because what they're going to do is they're going to say, hey, I used so-and-so and they came to my house. They picked me up. They took me not only did they take me to the doctor, they provided me with light housekeeping. They just took care of me all the way around. I have nothing but positive things to say. Here's your Google review. All right. Y'all following me? So we just dispelled myth number one. Myth number two is that we need one-off rides are the model. One-off rides are the model. I tell you, my students, they do their mystery shopping. And when I hear some of the prices that some are giving for a 10-mile ride or a 5-mile ride, I'm like, well, what else you get with that? I get a water. What else do I get with that? Something. Okay. So the truth is that premium businesses sell packages. As a non-emergency medical transportation provider in healthcare, you are still in sales. And if you're wanting to compete, you don't really even have to compete, because nobody else is doing this. I'm telling you, very few people are doing it. This is it. The solution is to create bundled services. So your cardiac rehab package. Yes, you got to go to cardiac rehab 3 times a week. Okay, well, maybe I provide you an extra stop or 2 extra stops. You're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for it. But I'm offering you 2 additional stops or 1 additional stop. I'm waiting for you. You're my only client. I'm in healthcare. I'm a CNA, or I'm an RN, or I'm an MP. I can go into that appointment with you. I can help you create. I can create a care plan for you, and I can take it back to your family member and say, hey, this is what the doctor said. This is why we're adjusting this medication. If you're MD, NP, RN, LPN, you can give the reason why that the doctor is doing these changes. And people that have to go to work and they don't want to necessarily leave their loved one with someone, but they're going to trust you. You're a healthcare provider. So we create bundled services, dialysis transport. I know that most dialysis is paid for through Medicaid or Medicare, but there are some that are acute. There's some acute patients that come in, and I've seen it before. Those are the ones you want to target when it comes to dialysis. It's those acute patients, those that are only going to be on that machine for 3 or 4 months until their acute injury resolves. Once their acute injury resolves, they're still going to tell everybody about the wonderful service that you gave to them during their time of need. All right. Companion care, mental health transport, things of that nature. Some individuals who have mental health conditions, they need discreet care. Their family members may be in a position where they don't want everybody knowing about what's going on with their child. So some of y'all want to go and wrap your vans and have everything on there, but you don't think about that there's some individuals that don't want you to know, don't want everybody to know that they have a disability. So myth number 3, quick wins build a business. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That, in this business, hey, thank you. Thank you, Delisa from Louisiana. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making yourself known. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. So here's the myth that quick wins build a business. So quick wins mean by soon as that phone rings, you give them a price to cover your whole day's worth of transportation. You know that you got a $250 bottom line. So it doesn't matter where they're going, you're going to go ahead and charge them that $250. That individual might pay it because they really need to go, but that doesn't create a long-term strategy. Now they're upset that you charged them $250 to take them 3 miles and they got nothing extra. They didn't get a bottle of water. Okay. So the truth is that long-term strategy creates stability. So how do we do that? How do we create a long-term strategy? Referrals. I think we're going to NEMT, and there's going to be someone who's going to be talking all about referrals in the transportation industry. So I hope to see you guys there. And we're going to learn more about that on that. But for today, let's talk about it. You have rehab, group home, social workers. You're in healthcare. Again, this webinar is for anybody, but I'm speaking to my healthcare workers. You are in healthcare. You know who the point of contacts in most situations are. So don't position yourself as I need something from you. Create a relationship that's reciprocal. You're going to give something of value of yourself in order for them to give. So if they've got a group home, offer to take some of their residents for that referral. I tell my clients all the time, I get people from group homes and home health cares that are always asking, can you teach me how to start a non-emergency medical transportation business? Well, I know that your drivers are asking you guys that too, or they're scared to ask you, but teach them. The likelihood of someone actually taking this to the end is very slim. But in the meantime, you can have a wonderful working relationship with them while you're teaching them how to start the business. It's not going anywhere. Family contracts, again, your self-pay clients. Your self-pay clients are where they are. You're able to care plan for them and bring them coming back for their needs, their care needs. So here's the framework snapshot. And again, I apologize for the slides. We're working on it. So we have 4 phases of a premium business. First, you're going to have your business foundation. In your business foundation, you have your legal and your financial roots. I have my 11-step framework that we're going to be learning here at our Build It Right from the Start group coaching program. We'll talk more about that here in a moment. But you want to make sure that you have that business foundation, that legal and financials roots done first. That is your first phase. The second phase of building your premium business is getting your identity and your visibility. That's your brand and your niche. We talked about, as our example here, as your cardiac rehab patient. We didn't say that they're wheelchair. We didn't say that they're ambulatory. We got very, very specific. We're marketing to the cardiac rehab individual. Just like tonight, I'm very, very specific. I'm talking to the healthcare providers who want to start a transportation business. Now, does that mean that somebody else can't call you? Absolutely. We are loving. We care about people. We want to get you where you need to go. However, you want to zone in to talk to a specific market. Okay. Cut out and edge out your piece of the pie. Next, your third phase is compliance and operations. You got to be ready to serve. If you don't have your compliance down, if you don't have your operating systems down, it's going to be very difficult. And I have clients that, listen, they still underestimated how much the cost of this was going to be to start. And so when I tell them, hey, you're going to need this system, they're like, I know, but do I have to do it right now? And I'm like, you don't have to do it right now. But when you get to 3 to 5 individuals that you're transporting, you need to start bringing in a dispatching software, because you never know what could happen on that road. Having a dispatching software with real-time updates is going to prevent you from being late. Revenue and growth is your fourth. That's your fourth area that you're going to want to make sure that you are addressing. And that's with your packaging and your scaling. And we get real deep into that in the Build It Right. So let's talk about it. Ready to build a premium transportation business? Join my group coaching program. We are starting Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, from 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time till about 8:45 Eastern Time. I'm going to leave the link for that class in the description box. You can go to my link tree there. If you want to pay the full invoice, great. It'll give me an alert and I will reach out to you through email. If not, if you want to talk about financing options and how to get started with financing, my 0% financing, then click on the 15-minute discovery call and book a call. There's very little time left. We're getting ready to wrap up. I only have 2 spots left because I'm trying to keep everything minimum at 10. So I have 2 spots left. So if you want it, come get it, because I'm sure by the time I get back from NEMT, they're going to be full. Okay. All right. So again, I said very limited spots. I have 2 left. Don't just build a ride service, build a premium service-based transportation business that lasts. We're going to start group coaching September 2nd. We've got 0% financing options, and the link is in my link tree. It's that simple. Now, I was hoping we have a few more people on, but we've got 4. So let's open it up to question and answer. I'm going to stay on for a few minutes, about 6 minutes. So if we have blank time, that's okay. I know sometimes it takes a little while for it to come up on StreamYard for the questions. Are there any questions? Do you guys have any questions on this brief webinar? I'm so excited to be on LinkedIn. Is anybody here from LinkedIn? I saw Delisa's from YouTube. Do we have any LinkedIn viewers? Or Facebook? Look, y'all go ahead and give me that like too. Make sure you like. Any questions? I'm here for you, okay? Let's talk about it. I know that one of my biggest concerns right now is that the amount of phone calls that I'm getting from individuals who are starting to see the light that there's going to have to be a shift in how you approach your clientele. I always set my clients up for self-pay, brokers, and government contracting. But that does not mean that when you get set up that you're ready to do that right away. And I see a lot of individuals come to me and they're wanting to pick my brain a little bit, and then they take that information and they run. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. There's so much information, useless and useful information in this brain about that I've had to learn from trial and error and from having to dig deep. So don't try to just get a piece here and a piece there and think that you're going to be able to get it all together. It's going to take you 2 years and being broke if you do it that way. Come get this training. I'm teaching you the 11-step framework, the framework that I gave away for free, but now it has been, what's the word? It has been perfected or close to being perfected. It probably can still have some things that I can work out in it, but now we've got it point blank. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. This is how you need to structure in 90 days. Here's the foundation. Here's your cornerstone. Here's your building piece. Don't do it. And not only do I teach you the structure on how to set up, I'm teaching you business principles. And that's something that most of us need. I had to learn them the hard way. I'm giving them to you for free. So again, I always tell you all, come on and get it, because this is the first round. You know how it is. After this, it just gets bigger and better. So I look forward to seeing you all in class. Again, I want to say thank you for everybody who has signed up. I'm excited. I'm excited to get us going. We are going to have a beautiful class. I know those who are in my focus group, they're moving on to the Build It Right from the Start course too. And we're going to start working on their business plans in the next couple of weeks. So it's going to be pretty busy for me, y'all. So, but again, thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for following. All of your support has been great. I've been loving the comments. I've been loving the questions. And I love what we're doing in our community, and I'm just loving and just so thankful for all that y'all is doing and bringing everything together. All right, y'all. I don't like to sit here and just ramble. So, any questions? Any questions? I got 2 more minutes. I'm gonna cut it off at 30 minutes. So, trying to think anything else we need to talk about. Any housekeeping before any questions come through? Any questions? Well, that was a thank you. All right. There she go. There go you girl. All right, y'all. Well, no questions came through. Y'all make sure to like, and share. And I will see you guys next week on Thursday for another mini webinar. And if you're on LinkedIn and you watch this and you want to see another webinar, please comment below so that I can make sure to add you all in. I'm kind of iffy because it's still that imposter syndrome. You got to get over that. Like, am I good enough to be on LinkedIn? Am I supposed to be here? So I have to fight with myself and say, girl, you got this. You got this. You got the Most High. He got you. He got you. So y'all let me know. I'll talk to you soon. Be blessed.